Welcome aboard North Andover. I'm your host, Ron Carpenito, and it's time for the latest edition of your North Andover Journal. Well, North Andover is going purple. Andover and North Andover went purple June 20th to the 27th to help raise awareness for the Alzheimer's Association and the North Andover Walk to End Alzheimer's. June is Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month, and the association is helping the town to share information about the free support services and educational programs available. We caught up with HOTALING from the Alzheimer's Awareness Association to hear about the great event and what else is to come.
June is Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month, so all month long people are going purple in support of the Alzheimer's Association and to raise awareness for our mission, which is to offer support services, help educate the public about Alzheimer's and dementia, but also the support services that are provided at no cost to those who need them. So towns are going purple, and that means decorating outside of their businesses, hosting fundraisers, and then also setting up their teams to walk. Our walk will be held in Andover on October 3rd, and people, organizations, community groups are coming together around the fight against Alzheimer's to remember, honor, and care for those who we've lost, but also fight for that first survivor of Alzheimer's disease. So right now we're at the North Andover Senior Center, so you can see their display. The Brightview North Andover has a purple toolkit as well. They're one of our great supporters, and then Ashland Farms as well of North Andover. So other towns have little purple displays or our posters around town, so you'll see those, but we're just so grateful for everything that's happening in North Andover, and then our walk in Andover in the fall will be a great event, and we have so many partners and participants coming from North Andover as well. We're just very excited to have our walk in person this year in a kind of our normal model. You'll see our volunteers and participants carrying these purple flowers and flowers of all colors symbolizing your connection to Alzheimer's, which is purple is if you've lost someone, orange is if you're an advocate and support our mission, yellow is if you're a caregiver, or blue if you are currently living with a diagnosis of Alzheimer's or another dementia. So no matter what color your flower that you are holding, it's all connecting us around our mission and showing that you're not alone in this fight to end Alzheimer's disease. You can set up your team. There's no fundraising minimums, no registration fees. Our walk, your team can be as large or as intimate as you'd like it to be. Everyone can make a difference in the fight against Alzheimer's disease, so we'd love to have anyone and everyone participate. But you can always check our website for other things that are happening. We are always offering community education in the community, so everything right now is virtual, but we have a variety of topics and a whole portfolio of educational programs that are happening, but that website is the best way to access all those resources, as well as our free 24-hour helpline. This is our real gateway to all of our services with the association. It's 1-800-272-3900, and that is a free confidential website, helpline, where you can call at any time to ask questions about Alzheimer's or dementia, talk through a memory concern that you yourself might be having, or if someone in your life, if you're concerned about their memory, but also get information about what's happening in your community. So you can say, I live in North Andover and I want to know what's happening, and they'll direct you to find more information about what's happening in your area, or you can even register from the walk by calling that helpline. So that's a gateway to our resources, and really the best way to access more information.
North Andover's Farmers Market is back, and it's better than ever. Located on First Street and loaded with fruits, veggies, meat, barley items, and more. We caught up with the staff to learn more about this amazing experience, their plan for the summer, and what to expect throughout these next few months.
The Farmers Market is actually part of the North Andover Merchants Association, and this is the 5th year, as I mentioned, and we came to the downtown area as a way to try to bring fresh local food to neighboring communities, especially this part of town, sort of like a food desert, and also to bring more foot traffic to the downtown and some of the brick and mortar businesses. And we have mostly food items, but also this week we actually have 3 vendors that sell things for the body, so soap, Bath and Body products, and CBD products. So everything is either locally made or locally grown. The North Andover Merchants Association gave out several awards this year to COVID heroes. So people nominated different businesses in the community that either stepped up to help their employees or other businesses in town. And we were really excited to be nominated for that, and we won a COVID Hero Award, mainly for the work that we did with the veteran services in town. So we have a veteran food security initiative where we raise money for low-income veterans. And at the beginning of the pandemic, even before the farmers market had opened, we wanted to help out the veterans in that way and local businesses. So we used the money we had in our food security fund to buy gift cards to local restaurants that we gave out to the veterans. So it sort of helped the veterans and the restaurants that were struggling at the same time. We run every Sunday until I think October 3rd is our last day this year. Usually this is a holiday weekend, so it's a little slow, but usually we have live music and at least one volunteer organization or nonprofit that has a tent that's doing some fundraising. And that's pretty much the plan for the rest of the year.
Well, there has been a changing of the guard in the North Andover High School Athletic Department as former AD Laura Habecker stepped down at the end of the spring sports season. And though the search for a new athletic director saw applicants chiming in from near and far, the final choice was much more near than far. Now let's say hello to North Andover's newest athletic director.
The North Andover Public Schools recently announced the hiring of a new athletic director. That search began in the wake of Laura Habecker stepping down after 4 years at the helm. The school received 75 applications from individuals seeking the position. That initial field was narrowed down to 3 finalists, and when all was said and done, the job went to Steve Nugent, North Andover High School's current track coach and guidance director. Now, Nugent's not only a longtime member of the high school staff, but he was a product of the North Andover school system as well.
Back in 1987, I graduated from the high school and returned in 1991 fall to coach the freshman boys soccer team. Since then, they haven't been able to get rid of me. So I've coached a number of different sports and been a member of the guidance department for the last 20 plus years. So this will be coming up on my 24th year at North Andover High School as an educator.
Nugent says he has many skills that would be perfect for his new job, some attained while coaching and some picked up in his tenure as a guidance counselor.
It's all about building relationships. I think to be successful in anything in education, it's about the relationship you have with the people you work with and the people you work for. So I think I'm pretty good at that. Obviously, always a work in progress, but in guidance, the mission statement is always, it's a relationship-based approach. It's something that our entire team in the high school is amazing at. It's something that we try to get better at every year. So it's definitely something that it's going to be the foundation of everything I do as a athletic director now.
While the North Andover Athletic Department has had many successes over the years, Nugent also acknowledged that there are challenges incumbent with his new job.
Initially, my most important thing would be, focusing on our athletes and then our coaches. And then secondary to that would be our facilities. And I think we're coming up on 20 years now. I think this is our 18th year in the building, in the new facilities here that maybe are starting to look a little weathered in spaces. So for me, it would be making sure that we're, as a coaching staff, as a group of athletes, student athletes, we're all going in the same direction, and then making sure we've got the facilities that we can, keep us at a high level of performance.
Nugent has inherited a very successful program here in North Andover, which has seen its share of tournament success and championships these past few years. His goal for continuing that success is simple.
My goal would be to not get in the way of people's success. My role is to support our coaching staff, our student athletes, our parents. It's to enhance it. So to be honest with you, I don't anticipate much in the way of changes. My goal would be also to keep more kids in North Andover and going to North Andover High School. I think that we've got an amazing thing here, and I just want to keep it rolling. So I'm going to do everything I can. I'm going to pour all my energy and time and effort into making sure I don't get in the way of that, and I do whatever I can to support the success moving forward.
And considering the on-again, off-again nature of the sports schedule during the whole COVID-19 period, Nugent is looking forward to a more normal atmosphere in his inaugural season.
I think there's a lot to look forward to. I think about game night and the town as a community, hitting up our local restaurants and, the excitement that it builds as a community, and then, there being standing room only at our games and hard to find parking, which I know is a negative byproduct, but, for me it would be a positive thing. I want to make sure that, we have the ability to provide an opportunity for people to kind of step away from the day in, day out grind. And my hope would be that, if we can return to some semblance of normalcy, on a weekly basis, we're providing that here, whether it's our football games or any other sport you want to insert.
Nugent's selection was finalized on June 21st, and he has been on the job in his new capacity since the beginning of July.
Well, it's almost August. Do you know what that means? It's time to celebrate our North Andover Police Department and firefighters with the annual community building campaign, National Night Out. Well, we caught up with the North Andover Police Department to hear more details about the event and what to expect.
National Night Out is our biggest community policing event. We bring all of our apparatus, we bring pretty much all of our personnel, and we are there for the community to approach us, we are letting people take pictures with anything that we have, especially with the children and the families. They get to come, we open the cruiser doors, they get to rummage through the cruisers, they see what the lights are like, and get to see where we sit every day that we get used to as our office. When we realize it's surreal for someone that doesn't get to do that every day, to actually be sitting in that driver's seat. This event for many people is the one event of the year where they get a chance to see us not in action, or when we're in uniform with all of our gear and our vests and everything going on. So I think it does matter because it really bridges that, it breaks the ice, and it bridges that gap for some people. So unfortunately, we've missed National Night Out for the past 2 years due to a EEE outbreak, and then of course the COVID-19 pandemic. And this year we're very excited to have it back and to just come together as a community. And this is actually probably the biggest community event that we've had since shutting down. So we're very excited to be at the forefront of that. The businesses of North Andover do get involved in National Night Out. It's a great opportunity for not only for them to show their support for the community that they are doing business in, but they can kind of get a chance to showcase what they're offering. And while they're doing that, they're explaining what they do, why they do it, and people get to meet business owners and foster those relationships as well. Like I said, National Night Out, it's a community event, and the police aren't the only part of this community. Our business owners are just as important, and this gives them an opportunity to showcase in a very friendly, open way what they're trying to do, and also showing their support for the community that they're in as well. National Night Out is it's a fun night, it's a blast. I encourage everybody to come down, bring their friends, their family, their children, and just come have a good time with us.
So the town is very excited about National Night Out this year, especially with the 2-year break that we unfortunately had to take over the last 2 years. Having it come back this year is very exciting, especially after COVID. All the businesses that are going to be participating have a really great opportunity to interface with the public. And of course, the public has the opportunity to have a great night out August 3rd, 6 to 8, and to meet and be with the local fire department and police department. And again, it's just going to be a really good time, especially coming out of a really rough couple years. And so we're very excited about it.
And be sure to head over to the North Andover Middle School August 3rd at 6 p.m. to have some fun and hang out with the North Andover Police and Fire Department. Cam will be on site, so come on by, say hello, and watch us film interviews with various North Andover Department officials. Can't make the event? Have no fear. We'll be capturing all the great moments for your very own viewing pleasure. Just tune into the Cam Access channel after August 3rd. Well, last Saturday at the North Andover Police Station, a class was held to train children on what to do if their pets were ever in an emergency. This training teaches emergency and CPR techniques to help save our furry friends. Let's check it out.
Today is the basic CPR and first aid for domestic animals for kids between the ages of 14 and 20.
Today I'm going to be teaching basic CPR and first aid to some school-age children, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm a huge advocate for education. I'm going to also advocate for the kids here to, take part in Red Cross CPR first aid for humans. But I also think it's important that everybody knows how to take care of animals and pets as well, especially if they're pet owners. So today we're going to go over CPR for domestic animals, how to perform the Heimlich maneuver, and also evacuation techniques. So perhaps there's a house fire or carbon monoxide, anything like that, any reason to leave the home. We're going to go over the safe way to do that as well. And then of course in New England we have really wide temperature swings, hot to cold. So we're going to talk about if a pet were to get into sort of an emergency situation in either of those extremes and how to handle it on the way to veterinary services.
I find it to be very important. You never know when an emergency is going to happen and how far away response will be. And having the basic skills can save your animal's life. Just by knowing how to quickly do CPR or giving breaths. And I think it's extremely important for the community to know.
certainly it's important to know how to handle humans for CPR and first aid. Animals are just as important. And I think it's something that, again, the more people know, even young kids, the better. You just never know when you're going to need these skills, and so just having a little information in your back pocket is going to make all the difference.
We'll be sure to stay updated for any upcoming trainings like this being held by the North Andover Police Department by going to their website listed below. Well, here at the Journal, we're always on the lookout for a great North Andover news story or even a fresh new idea for a show, feature, or segment. So if you have any ideas or exciting news, please let us know by emailing us at the email below. And we want to take a moment just to shout out our sponsors that air the Journal every day. So if you're ever finding yourself hungry for a great meal, visit any one of these locations, watch the Journal as you enjoy some great local North Andover food. And of course, thanks again for joining us. Be sure to keep an eye out for our future episodes. And from all of us here at the Journal, I'm your hometown host, Ron Carpenito, and thanks for watching.